in many instances, pricing is psychological. In my own experience, I had to grow into the confidence of being able to price. And but now that I understand it better, I'm hoping that I can share some of the things that I've learned. There are some basic things a price should do for you. The first is that a price should cover your costs. There's no point setting a price if after you set that price, you are running at a loss because you did not cover your costs. As simple as this sounds, as basic as it sounds, you will be shocked at how many people set prices without considering their costs. So it's not as if they don't consider their costs, but they don't fully consider their costs because there are different types of costs. There are direct costs, and those are the costs that people usually see. I want to sell this bottle, right? Most people look at it and say, I bought it for $10. I bought this bottle for $10. So if I sell it for anything above $10, I'm in profit. Not necessarily. The $10 is the direct cost of buying this bottle. That is the direct cost. But there are usually indirect costs of this bottle. Don't forget, this bottle is being sold by a business. That business has a shop, sells, pays rent. That business often runs on diesel. That business pays for electricity. That business pays for internet. That business pays staff. And don't forget, most of that money for covering all these things I just talked about, rent, staff salaries, diesel for the generator, all sorts of things, including the interest on the loan. Most of that money will come from the money you make from selling this thing. So imagine you buy this thing for $10 and you're saying, as long as I sell it for anything above $10, I'm in profit. And you decide to sell it for $12. The $2 you made on top, would that be enough to cover all the indirect costs I mentioned? The rent, the salaries and things like that. So that is usually one mistake that businesses make when they are pricing. They don't fully cover or take into consideration all the costs. And usually the angle they miss is the indirect cost, because many businesses have a good idea of their direct costs, what it costs them to buy or make that thing that they're selling. So what really gets them is the indirect cost. So when you are pricing, you need to bring in and consider the indirect cost. The second feature of a good price is that it should cover the replacement costs. So for example, right now we're going through a lot of inflation in Nigeria, and I guess it's the same thing happening in several African countries, right? I bought this thing for $10. I bought this thing for $10. And if I sell it right now and I go back to the market, they don't sell this thing for $10 anymore. They now sell it for $15. So the question is, I bought this for $10 when I bought it, right? But right now in the market, if I sell this one and I want to go and replace this stock, they now sell it for $15. What should be the cost of this? Accounting wise, the cost is $10. But in terms of your pricing, the cost cannot be $10. Because of what point is it that you sell this thing, you assume it is $10 and sell it on the basis of $10, but you are not able to replace it when you go back to the market because the price has risen. So you need to consider the replacement cost. What this means is that in setting your pricing, you need to be aware of what is going on in the market in terms of your price survey. You need to be sure that by the time you sell this thing, you would have enough money to replace it when you go back to the market. So the replacement cost, very important.